Well, welcome one-on-one on Steve Adubato. There's an awful lot to be said about infrastructure. I know it's not sexy on the surface, but if you dig deeper, important stuff. Gentleman we're about to see on camera will tell you about. He is Dr. Philip Mark Plotch, who is author of a book called Politics Across the Hudson. He's also associate professor of political science at St. Peter's University. Good to see you, Doctor.
Hi, thanks for having me on.
Politics Across the Hudson is about the Tappan Zee Bridge.
It's about the Tappan Zee, but a little bit more. It's about what it takes to build something today. As we know, we have crumbling infrastructure all over the metropolitan area, and we have had all sorts of different problems. We haven't had really many new infrastructure projects built in a long time. Yep.
So how does this, which is no longer called the Tappan Zee, it is called the
Mario, after Andrew Cuomo's father.
It's not called the Mario, it's called the Mario Cuomo.
Mario Cuomo Bridge, yes.
Got it. Okay, so there's Andrew, the governor of the Empire State, while we're taping in the Garden State. How the heck did they get this done? He's there at the Tappan Zee, now the Mario Cuomo Bridge. How did they get this done?
So I started writing this, trying to figure out why it was taking so long. It had been about 30 years of studies, like nonstop study after study after study. It was, what do we do with the bridge? Do we build a new rail line? Do we build a light rail line? Do we build HOV lanes? Do we move people in clustered areas around train stations? Do we have high occupancy vehicles for buses? I don't know if maybe we're talking about high occupancy bicycle lanes at some point. So it's really one study after another, and the governor comes in. And he says, we have to scale this thing back. Because what they were talking about when he became governor was a $20 billion project, which was completely unaffordable.
Not happening.
No. And what
federal money?
They were hoping for federal money. So what happened was the study started in 1980. And after about 15 years of more studies, the state decided they were going to build an HOV lane. But Governor Pataki decided that wasn't good enough. The Thruway Authority wants a new bridge.
Governor Pataki succeeded Governor Mario Cuomo.
Correct.
Who tried to run for a third term. Go ahead.
That's right. So, so Governor Pataki says HOV lane doesn't really cut it. The Thruway Authority wants a new bridge. Metro North wants a new railroad. Let's combine those two. So sort of a shotgun wedding, two agencies that didn't get along, couldn't really talk to each other, and they come up with this massive project that was popular for everybody, a new rail and a new bridge. Trouble was it wasn't affordable, but nobody wanted to say that. So the easy thing to do for Governor Pataki and his two successors, Governor Spitzer and Governor Patterson, was to continue studying it, because everybody's really happy when you're studying it.
Kick the can down the road, otherwise known as government policy in the eyes of some. So what does Andrew do? So
Andrew says, we're going to get rid of the rail piece. So the rail piece was a really important piece because everybody wanted public transportation.
Right.
But he saw, okay, what can I get done in my first term of office? Because when you're a politician, you care about every 4 years. That's your calendar. Some people think long term, some people think very short term. If you're a newspaper reporter, you think about like what's going on that night, right? So he's thinking 4 years, I can start building a bridge and get meaningful progress on that bridge if I get rid of the rail. So that's what he did. He got rid of the rail. But he put so much political capital, so much of his attention, so much state resources. He got the president to say, this is a priority project for the nation.
And the president at the time was?
Obama. So he knew how to work the White House because he used to be a secretary of HUD.
He also worked in the Clinton administration as a secretary of Housing and Urban Development?
That's correct, right. Yeah, so he knew how Washington worked, so he met with the chief of staff, and he gets the federal government on his side. He has the state apparatus. He has all the state authorities working for him. He gets the best and brightest people from the state to work on that project. He gets hands-on involved with every decision, and he makes sure everything gets done so that by the time his second term is over, he has the bridge opened up.
So, this happens. Is it controversial?
It is controversial when he makes that initial decision to get rid of public transportation, because he wasn't expecting it, because he had been part of 30 years of studying it.
Is it controversial to name it the Mario Cuomo Bridge?
Yes, obviously. So I always think if my kids ever become governor, I wouldn't mind if they named the bridge after me, but a lot of people obviously don't think it's such a good idea.
Hold on 1 second. We're in New Jersey, but we understand the politics in the region pretty well. Is it fair to say, don't the Republicans in the state Senate up in Albany control the Senate?
So they did.
I'm talking about at this time.
At this time now? It's the
No.
Oh.
At that time,
yes.
Republicans control the Senate.
Yeah. So Andrew Cuomo, he's Machiavellian. He knows how to make a deal.
You make reference to the great Niccolò Machiavelli and the 1600s?
Yes. He knows how to give.
What does that have to do with this?
Because everything is about politics. Everything is about making a deal. Everything is about getting the resources you need to further your goals. So he puts the budget, which is almost like $100 billion, in play at the same time he's trying to name the bridge after him.
So hold on. If he was able to make this bridge happen, the largest bridge,
One of the longest and widest bridges and most expensive bridges in the world now.
so why can't we have the Gateway Tunnel? Why can't Andrew Cuomo, together with the governor of New Jersey, Governor Murphy, together with the United States senators in both states, work out a deal with Washington? Why can't we get the Gateway Tunnel?
So Andrew,
That additional, right?
So Andrew Cuomo's
into New York City from New Jersey and back and forth. Go ahead.
Andrew Cuomo's pretty shrewd. He's taking on a project that he knows can get done. So he takes on the Tappan Zee when he knows he could get it done. For the Second Avenue subway, he wanted it done at a certain date, and he takes it on when he knows he could do that. For Gateway, he can't control the federal funding. He can't control Amtrak. He can't control New Jersey. He can't control the Port Authority. He can't control New Jersey Transit. So that's not for him. That's not his project. But
He doesn't care that much?
well, it's not that he doesn't care that much. It's just that he knows that it's not a winning ticket for him. So what's
What about for the people of the region?
So it's really, obviously it's really important. But if you
The Gateway
look
Tunnel's huge.
you look at the electoral map right now. So if you look at the electoral map and sort of picture. right?
Don't be sitting there telling me that Donald Trump says, I'm not going to win New Jersey, I'm not going to win New York. No biggie.
It's more than that. It's if you think about the Northeast Corridor, and the Gateway is really about the Northeast
Yes,
Corridor,
it is.
right? So it's Virginia and Delaware and Maryland.
I'm not going to win
New
those
Jersey,
states.
New York.
I'm not going to win Connecticut.
Rhode Island,
I'm not going to win Rhode Island.
Massachusetts.
Are you serious?
So there's nothing in it for him right now. The only thing in it for him is to use it as a trade. So if those states will get together and say, we'll give you a wall in
We'll give you a wall.
exchange for a tunnel,
What does a wall have to do with the tunnel?
because everything is negotiable. Everything is on the table when it comes to all of these huge mega projects.
What's the biggest takeaway from all this? By the way, you have another book coming out on
I
the
do.
Second
Actually,
Avenue.
it's about the Second Avenue subway, yeah.
Right.
Which is, so the Tappan Zee was interesting to me because it was 30 years of what's going
Right.
on. The Second Avenue subway is 100 years of trying to figure out what's going on.
Biggest takeaway from this. What should we learn from this?
So the biggest takeaway is you understand when politicians are telling you the truth and not telling you the truth. And if they don't talk about money, chances are that they're dreaming a little bit. And where you're coming up with the money is, for these big projects, the most important thing for sure.
You could have all the vision in the world.
Yeah,
If you can't pay for it.
great.
Dr. Philip Mark Plotch.
Yes.
Who is an author of the book Politics Across the Hudson, also associate professor of political science at St. Peter's University, in a town that cares deeply about transportation, Jersey City.
Yes.
Well done, Doctor. Appreciate it.
Wait, thank you very much.
This is One-on-One. I'm Steve Adubato. We'll be right back after this. That was great.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 30 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by RWJ Barnabas Health, Choose New Jersey, NJM Insurance Group, the New Jersey Economic Development Authority, the Turrell Fund, supporting Right from the Start NJ, the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, and by the Russell Berry Foundation. Promotional support provided by AM 970 The Answer, and by NorthJersey.com and Local IQ. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.